Okay, yeah, we're live. We're live.
Hi,
I
little
gotta
geeky boys and girls. It's
yeah,
Easter. And guess
let me
what?
get back in. Oh God, it is Easter, isn't it?
Jesus isn't the only thing rising. Mm. Here come Peter Cottontail, running down the bunny trail.
Hey, that's how I got my third wife, Geeky.
And he says, come on down to the cellar and reach on into my bag of goodies. I got tons of goodies. Oh, yeah.
And usually I'm the inappropriate one. Welcome to High Class
Mm-hmm.
Geek News, where once a week we give you the news that isn't important because we worry more about the news you give a shit about. I am a friendly neighborhood geekazoid Evan Ransom. Of course, as usual, with me today, my co-host, John Little, the angry monkey.
Hi, children. Awful glad you joined us today. Mm.
Oh God, I apologize in advance. God, you see my singing's bad. Tonight's episode, the debut without fear.
Dun dun dun.
Can you guess what our main story is this time, John?
Well, seeing as it's Easter, I think we're finally going to debunk the myth that Jesus isn't actually a zombie. He's actually
He's a lie. We know that
he's a
already.
lich.
Move on.
That's absolutely right. He is a lich, and I've been having this argument for quite some time. And yes, there are people that will argue that Jesus had no phylactery and therefore can't be a lich. However, just because he doesn't have phylactery means he's the Lich King.
How did you get that out of the title, the debut without fear?
Lich King fears nothing.
Bad geek. Bad geek. No. Our main story is that this Friday we are getting all 13 episodes of the Netflix/Marvel original series, Daredevil. And the reviews are in. Because apparently if you actually do that, review these things professionally, you get to watch them early, you lucky sons of bitches. And according to the reviews, they say they are lucky sons of bitches. I have not heard anything bad about this show yet.
Sorry. Apparently I'm popular.
You know, I'm the one who's supposed to be unprofessionally eating things while we're doing this.
Hey, fuck off. It's rabbit food. And by rabbit food, I mean chicken.
That's right, people. Eat your Easter bunnies when you're done with them. Especially if we're talking about the living, breathing kind. Now, yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm all happy and excited. I can't wait. It's like Entertainment Weekly gave it an A-.
Well, you're excited because you're a Daredevil fan. I'm going to watch it and give it a shot. Still probably not going to make me a Daredevil fan, but still going to enjoy it for what it is.
Let's be honest. We all have those things where it's like we're not a fan of the source, but we're a fan of the thing. Like, I never read a single Big Hero 6 comic. Hard to find. But I like the movie, so I can say I'm a fan of the Big Hero 6 movie. It'd be a stretch to say I'm a fan of the comic. So,
Point.
also, I can't imagine anyone who's a fan of the Men in Black or the Mask movies being too many of them being big fans of the comics if they actually read them.
Point. Well, let's chug on through here.
Well, moving on. Now that I mentioned movies, we'll move on in. Coming out in theaters this week, Broken Horses and the Longest Ride. One of those has Clint Eastwood's son. It is not the one you're thinking, and it's written by Nicholas Sparks.
And one of them is a porno. We'll let you figure out which.
You know, if it was Broken Horses and it starred as someone who was related to Clint Eastwood, I'd still think that was the porno. Anyway, on home video, A Most Violent Year, The Immigrant, Preservation, and Wreck for Apocalypse, because, like their subject matter, horror movie franchises never die. They just get sequels.
Indeed, indeed.
In pre-production news, it has been announced that we'll be getting a live-action Mulan because Disney's just given up on having original ideas.
Pretty much.
On the other hand, on the upside, this means somewhere out there is a job for an Asian American actor. You have no idea how few there are of those in this country. It's kind of sad when you learn that.
True, true.
Especially when you consider how many movie roles aren't really either gender or especially like ethnic specific. Hell, one of the greatest characters of all time is directly as a result of basically hiring a woman for a role that was written for a man. We're talking to you, Ripley, and we love you.
And we do.
In casting news, we have a new member of the Suicide Squad. I will probably butcher this name, but this is new from Lost. Adewale Akinuoye Agjabe. I feel so sorry for that dude's Asian every time he has to pronounce that name. He will be playing Killer Croc, because I'm convinced the Suicide Squad is just another Batman movie. They're just trying to convince us it's not a Batman movie. Or unlike Marvel with Guardians of the Galaxy, they don't trust their unknown property to succeed and stand on its own. He only knows how many fucking original movies he can put out there, and they still think it needs to. Anyway, we also got casting news for that sequel I'm not going to see, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. We have a Casey Jones.
Oh, they're bringing out Casey Jones. I actually might have to go watch that.
But make it even worse, it's good casting. Stephen Amell, a.k.a. Arrow from Arrow. He's got the chops.
Oh, God. Damn you, Michael Bay!
Or just remember, he's not the one directing, he's producing. On the other hand, though, it did turn out the guy who directed the first one won't be doing this one. Probably because he said that it's very uncomfortable to sit down after having Michael Bay's pants shoved up his ass for hours on end. Speaking of things from our younger years coming back, for more casting news, Mallrats 2 is bringing back Joey Lauren Adams.
Yay!
God, what the hell has she been up to lately?
It's America's favorite lesbian. That's not a lesbian.
Are you still chasing Amy?
No, no, no. I set traps. She comes anywhere near me, she'll get it. I'll catch that bitch one of these days. One of these days.
Sorry, if you're going to get a lesbian, you need to be Ben Affleck.
Okay, that's both insulting to lesbians and my integrity. Fuck off. Moving on.
Well, you can't really say it's insulting to your integrity. Between the two of you, only one is Batman.
No.
And Daredevil.
Evan, told you, I'm not Daredevil, okay? I'm not.
No, you're
much
foggy.
as you want to believe it, I'm not.
No, you're foggy. Clearly, I'm the blind one.
Yeah, that didn't work in the club when you were drunk, and it's not going to work now.
Speaking of being drunk and in clubs and other things, have you been watching Extra lately?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's too bad. You could have seen Mario Lopez get killed by Deadpool, as 20th Century Fox officially announced. Yes, the movie will be rated R.
Now, I don't have TV, don't have cable, but I did watch that video, and I was very happy.
I know. What made it for me was that little bit at the end with the crude drawing saying, "It's okay, Jesse. Slater can't hurt you anymore."
I know.
Oh, I love you so much right now, Ryan Reynolds. I really do. I honestly, after that, I'm no longer care if the movie's good anymore or not. It's like I feel like the ad campaign is my Deadpool movie. If it turns out to be complete and total shit, it's okay because I can always go on the internet and watch the ad campaign.
If nothing else, the test footage they originally done, that was my Deadpool.
Yeah. Of course, last time I said something like that, we got the Fantastic Four movie.
Sorry, I'm just remembering that damn test footage. Is this Corinthian leather?
Oh, still, kudos to Ryan Reynolds for sticking with this project, even when for a while it looked like it wasn't going to happen.
Yep. Indeed, indeed.
And let's be honest, he looks good in the suit. Moving on to television news, home video releases, The Brady Bunch complete series, Frasier the complete series, King of the Hill seasons 9 and 10, MacGyver the complete series, Matlock the complete series, and if you're a little bit more of a TV snob and actually have to be aware that this show still existed, Wilfred season 4. I think you were the one who told me about Wilfred the first time, weren't you?
Might have been.
For all those who are wondering, that's the show where Frodo keeps talking to his dog, who's played by a human.
Jim Jeffers.
Yeah. In pre-production news, it has now been announced we are getting 2 new series. Netflix has ordered a 13-episode block of a reunited cast for Full House.
Oh.
I don't know why. I don't know who asked for this.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch it.
It's one of those. It's just okay. It's one of those things. It was just a part of our childhood, so it's the same reason why I announced things like the Brady Bunch of Frasier on DVD and Blu-ray. It's not because it's a geek thing. It's because for a while, television kind of was the geek thing, and those were the big things for TV. And just Full House. Okay. I'm going to watch at least the first episode out of curiosity.
I'm just waiting for a Perfect Strangers reunion.
God, wouldn't that be awesome? I still need to watch that video where it's the opening credit sequence to Enterprise, but done to the Perfect Strangers theme song.
That's just wrong.
Actually, from what little bit I actually did see, like a few seconds of it, it fits better than the song they used. Like, not just in terms of like aesthetically. I mean, if you ever listen to the lyrics, you can easily see how it actually represents what was supposed to be the idea and the themes of the show more than the one they used.
Okay, I can see that. I will have to go look that up myself.
Yeah. Also, the other show that was announced, this one will be on ABC Family, strangely enough. Full House won't. Shadowhunters, which is the television series based off of the Mortal Instruments books. Mortal Instruments, you may remember, was the name of that movie that failed utterly, that you probably, if you watched, it was only because you were hoping you were going to see that girl who constantly gets naked on Shameless be not naked.
Actually, I read the book and I've watched the movie. I enjoyed it. Please don't kill me, Internet.
I openly admit I like Man of Steel and the Daredevil movie. Well, the director's got the Daredevil movie. I also never bother trying to defend the Daredevil movie. That's something I know is bad, and I just enjoy it anyway.
We all have our guilty little pleasures.
I don't feel guilty.
For some geeks it's being a brony. For others, it's wearing leather Boy Scout uniforms while beating each other in the head with a ball-peen hammer.
But enough about Tuesday.
And it's like, for you? Insert joke here.
How'd you know the name of my penis is Joke?
Well, do you remember that one night where she used to be a man? She kind of told me.
And finally, we now have a showrunner for the Netflix Luke Cage series, which I'm guessing will be debuting somewhere, I'd say, about mid-2016. And it will be run by Chio Hodari Coker, because there was just this whole generation of black parents that just could not give their kids normal names. I don't know why. I'm just glad my mom was smart. Just named me after my father. Didn't feel a need to put a bunch of consonants and vowels together in some odd order so that it sounded African. God, I swear to God, we're as much as we have like the KKK and all that. Despite the history of this country, black people are more racist towards black people than white people can ever be.
Moving on. Moving on. Not touching that one. Sorry. Nowhere. No, sir. Irish white boy here. Mouth is shut.
And our final bit of an Irish man is just a black man with
Irish white boy here. Mouth is shut. Moving on.
Yeah, if you look at the
Moving
history
on.
of Irish poetry. Anyway, and finally, we got news on the X-Files that we should expect to see both the Cancer Man and Director Skinner.
I want Fluke Man to come back.
We all want Fluke Man to come back.
And Billy Connolly.
God, was he on that show? Who did he play in that show?
He wasn't in the show. He was in that movie that no one ever saw.
Oh, wait, which one?
The second film.
Oh, that one. Was he one of the agents?
No. But I still want him to come back.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking Billy Campbell. Okay, yeah. Sorry, you confused me for a second. No, his character died.
Get your head in the game, Evan. Get your head in the game.
Anyway, casting news. For the untitled Flash Arrow spinoff, which is basically looking to be a live-action Justice League Unlimited, basically, we have a hot girl. She will be played by Ciara Renee, who is apparently a Broadway musical actress. But you know what got me excited, John? Are you familiar with the character Rip Hunter?
Vaguely.
He's the basically he's the can't really call him a superhero. He's a DC character who travels the timeline to basically make sure nothing gets fucked up.
Oh, yes, and I'm rather impressed in who's going to play him.
Yep, Doctor Who's Arthur Darvill. Because when you need a time traveler, find one with experience. No, find one with experience traveling through time and being a fucking badass. No word yet on whether or not he's still doing this for a miniskirt wearing Karen Gillian.
I'm sure our female viewers, what few there are, would enjoy the fact that he's probably not, and if they're lucky, he'll still be wearing the Centurion outfit.
As for Karen Gillan, we do know that she will be wearing the cybernetics again for the sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot to put that down somewhere. I forget even where I read it, but yep. God, there was something I found sexy about her. I'm a fucked up individual. Anyway, and finally, in the news, the most recent episode of SNL just aired last night and gave us two geek-tastic surprises. Well, one wasn't really a surprise. Michael Keaton actually hosted the episode and in a wonderful opening and ended his opening monologue that kept getting interrupted by the cast to remind us that he was both Batman and Beetlejuice. And I believe it was in that same episode where the weekly update involved, I want to know who that guy is, who talks about how he smokes a lot of pot, so he'll be completely unprepared for the zombie apocalypse because people will confuse him for a zombie. Then out of nowhere, Norman frickin' Reedus shows up. And oh god, I love the little bit at the end where he just points out how he's had a bunch of weed, and he goes, he's like, I know you. You're the guy for the Boondock Saints. And Norman Reedus goes, I know you. You're the guy who's going to show me where you got that weed. Let's go. It was amazing. Oh, Norman Reedus. It's like your entire career is built on getting as much of my respect as you possibly can. I don't know why you're doing it, but I thank you. Moving on to video games. Releases this week. Bastion's coming out for the PS4. Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. And because I am fair and balanced, Pokemon Rumble World.
I was going to point out, Evan, you are neither fair nor balanced. In fact, you're one of the
state may be one thing.
I was going to say, in fact, you're one of the most unbalanced people I know.
Going on to merchandise. For those
merchandising, merchandising, merchandising.
Yep. Sadly, I do have merchandise for the PS4. Unfortunately, it's not the PS4 flamethrower. However, if you've been holding off on buying your PS4 until Arkham Knight comes out, it turns out you may have made a wise decision, as the PlayStation is releasing the PlayStation 4 Arkham Knight Edition.
Huzzah! It's a good bargain. You know you want it. I want it. I mean, it's...
I just want the game. I already have my pre-order set.
It's the PS4. I mean, come on. The only thing better than the PS4 is the PS4 Cowbell Hero.
Listen up, my good man. I have one simple question to ask you. When discussing a Batman Edition PlayStation, why are you doing Christopher Walken?
Well, because...
Returns? This is my show.
You know, sir, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Moving on.
You're a horrible villain. That's why I never brought you into the comics. I'm so amazing. Not only do they put me in everything multimedia, they gave a comic to my girlfriend. I'm still waiting for the Vertigo series. I call it Ride by Harley.
Moving on. Just moving on.
Let's see. One thing this was originally put up as there's a weird sort of marketing on April Fools these days where they release an ad as a joke, but then see how people respond to it to see if it should be made real. And let's just say I'm happy that I have an iPhone 6 Plus.
Okay.
As somebody came up with something called the Smart Boy, which is an electronic case you can put your iPhone 6 Plus in to turn it into a Game Boy, a fully functioning Game Boy. I know an expensive purchase I'll be making in the near future. And finally, for merchandising, Cards Against Humanity has released a special science set. And the proceeds will be going towards scholarship for STEM, which is basically helping women who want to get undergrad studies in science, technology, things of that thing. It'll help pay for that. It'll give you a scholarship. They want women to go to college and be smart so that basically when they have to deal with the asshole geeks keep giving them shit on the internet, you can talk back some shit.
This is why we love Cards Against Humanity.
Yep. In character news, we got 2 new characters coming to the next Super Smash Brothers. Mewtwo from Pokemon. Fucking Pokemon. And Lucas from Mother.
You see, I'm honestly just to a point now with Smash Brothers. It's like, okay, no more characters. This is not King of the Fighters anymore.
I don't know. I kind of want them to make a deal with the Mortal Kombat people and see if they can also use Predator and Jason Voorhees.
Oh, God.
That would be awesome.
Just because you have more characters doesn't mean you have good gameplay.
No, but I would love to slaughter some of those characters with the Predator or Jason Voorhees. It would get
and you know what? Then you have some punk kid on the internet using Kirby and kicks your ass.
Good thing I don't usually do the internet thing. And finally, in news, Sony has recently bought up the streaming game service OnLive and then shut it down.
Yep, that's Sony for you.
They're the new Disney, I swear to God. Only they're not being awesome like Disney is right now.
No.
I just like to think someone in Disney went, we need to save Star Wars. Buy it. Marvel's making tons of money. Let's help them. Sony.
Michael Eisner's gone. We can have fun again.
Yeah, that's another thing where comic books has movies and television beat. Our Eisner was awesome. We named an award after that son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And with good reason. Even though if you've seen The Spirit, you probably won't know what that reason was. Fuck you, Frank Miller. Anyway, moving on. Our single issue suggestions for comic books this week: Shield #4, where this time Agent Coulson looks to be having a team up with Susan Storm, the Invisible Woman, one of my personal favorite Marvel characters. Astro City #22, because John still doesn't know what the fuck that is and needs to look it up. Darth Vader #4. If that's not self-explanatory, this is the wrong show for you. Howard the Duck #2. If that's not self-explanatory, this is the wrong show for you. Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man #12. This should be the final issue before he starts getting affected by the Secret Wars event. The final issue, #5, of Star Trek Planet of the Apes, The Primate Directive. And we got some more team-up news for them coming up soon. And possibly the best comic coming out today, Saga #27. I will never get sick of that book. Hey, Jacob, how do you feel about Saga? Damn Skippy. As for graphic novels coming out this week, Astro City Family Album Trade Paperback for $16.99. Harley Quinn Volume 1, Hot in the City, also paperback, $16.99. Hardcover, though, for Volume 2, Power Outage at $24.99. This I may have to get. Orion by Walt Simonson Omnibus, the man who gave us arguably the greatest Thor run ever, for $75. These are SRPs. I'm going to assume you're like me and no other prices you can get them for. Samurai Jack Volume 3, Quest for the Broken Blade at $19.99. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters trade paperback, $17.99. I bet John's already debating on getting that as I speak. Jupiter's Legacy, the trade paperback at $9.99, which I highly recommend. New Avengers and Avengers, these are two separate hardcovers, both saying Volume 1, by Jonathan Hickman, $34.99 each, as well as the Avengers Vibranium collection, i.e. a comic collection big enough to kill a population with, at $200 if you're a hardcore collector there, and Miracle Man Volume 3 Olympus hardcover at $39.99.
Well, let's not forget the other comic announcement that was announced this week.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
Actually, no, we are. Yes, comic book announcements. New series coming out. John, go.
Oh, friends and lovelies, one of the great bastions of my adolescence is coming back to us. That's right. We are getting more Tank Girl. We're getting a whole new series called 21st Century Tank Girl in Space. So, dust off your covers, grab your beer, start up the tank, and let's go. Pow, 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 pow.
And don't forget to pay tribute to your Lord and God.
Yes, indeed.
Also, coming out, six-issue miniseries between IDW and DC Comics. It's a team-up between Star Trek and Green Lantern called the Spectrum War. For those who are wondering, this is the movie Star Trek cast, and teaming up with Hal Jordan, and it should be awesome because IDW has been doing an amazing thing with their licensed properties lately. Also, our comics section has kind of turned into our comics and literature section because I don't think these really belong just a miscellaneous thing anymore. If you're familiar with the Millennium series, probably its most popular title, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, we're getting another one of those. So later this year, look for The Girl in the Spider's Web, which apparently has been written by another man who is known in that country for doing journalist work, and says this is based off of an outline that he had gotten from the Stieg Larsson himself, or that was Stieg Larsson had, though someone who worked close to Stieg Larsson says that's bullshit and it's all about money, so it's like Harper Lee all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of books that people have been anxiously waiting for, writer George R. Martin has read and released on his website a chapter from his upcoming novel, The Winds of Winter. He also assures us that he has been focusing more on writing the book. The fact that the show has been catching up has made him determined to make sure that the book is out before season 6, though he openly admits he may be optimistic when he says that. But he's basically been canceling all non-essential interviews, appointments, and things like that, so he can focus as much on writing this book. And for those of you who are hoping desperately to somehow hack into his computer to find out what he's writing, good luck with that.
Yeah, you won't find any of the books on computer.
Nope. And all the hardcore fans know why. Let me just put it to you this way, to those of you who don't know why. Do you really think a man who has the kind of evil genius brain to create the Red Wedding is going to make it that easy for you?
Yep.
It's that time again, John. This week, we say goodbye to an American hero. Or a Japanese villain, dependent on how you look at it. Lieutenant Colonel Robert Haight, one of the Doolittle Tokyo Raiders, has passed away at 95, taking with us a piece of our history, which will never come back.
Indeed, indeed.
Speaking of a piece of history that will never come back, and that I'm pretty sure we're happy to keep it that way, Gary Dahl, at age 78, who created the pet rock, asked her parents about how stupid their parents were during the 70s. And a 1-2 punch for people like us, John. Robert Zadar, famous for many a horror movie, like Maniac Cop, has sadly gone too soon.
Yes, actually met him. Knew him, he lived here in town. Sad to see him go.
Also gone with the wind, much like Tuesday, is Bob Burns at 64. The drummer for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Speaking of dead people, as we move on to some science.
Science!
In archaeology this week, we have found a 3.67 million year old skull, which looks to be the oldest physical, organic relic of our ancestors.
Awesome!
Yeah. It looks just like you, John. It's got your eyes.
I know.
In medical news, and I may need your help with this one because I did not get a chance to get a good look at the article. Okay. I should explain the superbug. As somebody who had a few years ago had to spend quite a bit of his time in a hospital. I can't stand the smell of the bloody things because they are so clean, it is literally nauseating. This sounds like a good thing. Oh, good. We don't have to worry about things that don't go into our open gaping wounds and stuff like that, going to our open gaping wounds and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in there for cancer, the last thing you need is something coming after you while you have a weakened immune system. Well, there's a side effect of that cleanliness. You wind up creating viruses and germs that become super resistant to the things you use to clean it with God's smiting ability. That's where the superbugs come in. But it turns out we might be able to kill them, as apparently some old text from 1,000 or so years ago has a good old-fashioned Anglo-Saxon remedy. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out what that remedy was because I never had the time to read the article. What about you, John? Did you get it?
I haven't had a chance.
Bloody hell. Well, you either have to look up the article. Hate to say that. It's our fault, and I apologize. Either that, or you can try to summon up an old ancient knight using a seance. So, party at John's place. Anyway. In physics, as we reported last week, it has actually happened. We have restarted, after a couple of years of rebuilding the bloody thing, the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, I was just listening to NPR today. Apparently, particles, they are a-flowing. Beams, they are a-flying. And we should have our first collision sometime in the next month.
Yep. Science, it's like a leaf in the wind. We just watch how it soars.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we don't take that metaphor to its logical conclusion. Now, and finally in zoology, I've come to the conclusion pandas apparently listen to Sting. Yep, for those of you who don't know, with the other thing Sting is famous for, you know, aside from being the lead singer for the Police and not being anywhere near as good as he was after he left the Police, is the fact that he is a very open advocate of tantric sex. And apparently the pandas listened as they have broken a record and went at it for almost 7 minutes straight. No, nearly 8 minutes straight. It's like 7 point something.
Yep.
So kudos to you, panda guy. You may not be hung like John Holmes, but you can go the mile like him. I feel like we should make an Eric's penis joke there, but we're the only ones who know Eric.
Yeah, tough one.
And finally, God, we went through these quick this week. I miss having Jinxie here.
Yeah, or Jason. We need to get Jason back on.
Yeah, no kidding. We're going through them too quick when it's just the two of us.
Yeah, I mean, Jason should be available soon, just mainly because it's now the mid-season break for Walking Dead, so he got no excuse no more.
Jesus, Jason, get the internet. Anyway, miscellaneous. In internet news, James Vanderbeek has continued to earn even more of my respect. I love that guy so much since he left Dawson's Creek. As he did a Funny or Die skit with something that I can't... Amy, I wish I remember the actress's name. She was in the second season of True Blood, where they're basically picking on the Indiana religious freedom law by showing how it's not working so well for their phone-in shopping network. I think the best part is, there's a part of me that wonders if it's written in the script that he's supposed to be secretly gay, or if he just threw that in.
It probably was written in the script that way.
Yeah. He played it perfectly, though.
He did.
In terms of the dialogue, it does not say at all that he's in the closet, but you can tell by the way he's talking about it.
Yeah.
I love you, James Vanderbeek. Between this and the Power/Rangers.
God, that was awesome.
And finally, our final story for the week. In a small town in New York, turns out they don't really love Lucy, or more specifically, they don't love the terrible, horrifying, nightmare-inducing statue of Lucille Ball that
God.
local government have put up and have started to ask that they take it down.
I swear, just seeing pictures of that, I'm just imagining somewhere in that town there is a cult of Cthulhu that is sacrificing children to that thing. Imagine just be a little drunk, walking through town, and all of a sudden you come across that thing trying to offer you a spoon of Vitamita Vegemin.
When you look at that face, the face on the statue, it looks like it should be voiced by Mark Hamill.
No, it doesn't. It looks like it should be voiced by Harvey Fierstein. Here you go, honey. Just drink up for Mama, okay? Yeah. Jesus. Oh, honey, I'm so happy.
What the hell are they thinking? They should have just asked you to make a statue. You would have done it happily, done it well, and at probably like a quarter of the price.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay, so you charge them the same price, but at least it'd be worth their money.
Yeah, no, I got to make a giant bronze statue of Lucille Ball. Somebody's got to pay me extra for that.
What, you don't want anyone to see your giant bronze ball?
You know what, though? If that's the case, then I'm giving Lucy some huge tits.
Great, now I'm just imagining that episode of I Love Lucy, the boob job episode. Lucy, what did you do? And that brings us tonight's episode to an end. Oh god, I just ended an episode talking about Lucille Ball's tits. Okay.
If it's good enough for Neil Gaiman to write about it, it's good enough for us to talk about it.
When the hell did he write about Lucille Ball's tits?
American Gods.
God, it's been too long since
Thank
I've
you,
read American
Jacob.
Gods. Oh, I guess I'll just have to read it again. Damn it.
You're damn right.
Until then, we will see you next week as usual, 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday on our YouTube channel, or whenever you get around to clicking on this thing. Thank you for joining us. I have been your friendly neighborhood geekazoid, Evan Ransom. I have been joined by the angry monkey himself, that is John Little.
Bye, children. Just remember, Easter time comes but once a year. Now it's here.
If you wanted to hire John for babysitting.
That's right. I got lots of candy in my basket. You just reach on in and fish it out.